Hey everyone, Ron Milligan with Remax Select here. I've got the latest market statistics. These are for the statistics for last week. That's August 23rd through the 29th. The number of homes sold stayed pretty similar to what it was the week before. The week before it was 843. Last week it was 833. And of course, we're talking about transactions that went under contract, probably 4 to 6 weeks ago. Last year at the same time, that number was 991. And at last year at this time, we had just been noticing that the market was going crazy, skyrocketing. So it's not a big surprise to see a difference between the number of closings we're seeing this year versus last year. The number of active listings was also pretty steady. We're looking at 3595 versus 3555, so it's up about 40 listings, not that big a deal. The pending sales, however, did fall a bit. So we're at 6125 versus 6294 the previous week. I suspect that there may be an increase in the number of sale fails. So those are deals that went under contract and then for one reason or another, appraisal issues, inspection issues, or buyer financing issues, the deal fell apart. And it could be, we would see a lot of that when buyers were really compelled to bid high and strong, and sometimes we'd see buyer remorse a couple days into the contract and they'd fall apart then. The reason I think that there might be an increase in the number of sale fails is just because the buyer demand has stayed pretty high, or not high, but high and steady. So the number of new pending deals was 975 this last week. The previous week it was around 973. So it's still a nice high, steady level of buyer demand that we're seeing out there. Average days on market, 17 days, median is 6 days. And then the average sale price came in lower, considerably lower than it was the week before. 568.52 was the average sale price for everything that closed that last week. But keep in mind that, and the same week last year, it was 499, 329. So it was about a $60,000 difference. We've typically been seeing more of that last year versus this year, but I think we're going to see some tempering on our average sale price right now. We're currently running between, looking at the year over year average, so the first 7 months of last year versus the first 7 months of this year, we're currently typically running somewhere between 19 and 20% increase in the average sale price, and I suspect that that's going to be tempered maybe down to around 15% by the end of the year. So not a surprise there to see that gap start to close up a little bit. The last thing wanted to mention is median sale price, which is $507,000. And that just means that everything, that's the middle point. Half the homes sold for more than that and half the homes sold for less than that. So there's the details in a nutshell. If you have any questions about what's going on in your neck of the woods, just reach out to me. I'm happy to run the numbers and show you what's been trending. I'm always available, so reach out to me and we'll have a conversation. Until next week.